Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're talking about MAS 90 version 4.4, what's new and why it's for you. My name's Adrienne Montgomery, and I work with Vracus Blum Computer Consulting. My phone number is 262-798-7601, and we're offering a brief version of a webinar that we recorded back on April 8th of 2010. To fit in the YouTube time limit. So please sit back and enjoy the webinar. The presenter today is Sue Dunn. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Adrienne. Morning, everyone. We really appreciate that you're taking some time to join us this morning so that you can get a first-hand look at the 4.4 release that just came out. Most of you should have it in your possession. And we're very, very excited to go through some of the key features and benefits that you're going to receive from this great new release by Sage. So I'm going to reiterate what Adrienne said. If you have any questions, feel free to type those into the chat section. So without further ado, let's get started, and we'll go through some of the highlights of the 4.4 release that just came out. Key features are, as you can see here on the screen, the inventory management, IM module, purchase order module, and bill of material modules are highlighted with the 4.4 release. What's happening with those modules is they've been completed into what's called the new framework, or the .NET framework. Another key feature is that during the upgrade process, you'll be able to do parallel migrations, and I'll expand on that a little later on in the presentation so you understand what that means to you and how convenient that is. Sage has expanded the customer number field, which can be very beneficial for people who want to use a more verbal description for their customer number. The item number in the inventory file has been expanded, and there's many usability improvements, and the customizer module has been enhanced as well. Again, it's the inventory, purchase order, and bill of material modules that have been rewritten and are completing that part of the business framework. Key things that happen by that being done is that you get dual grid entry, just like you have in sales order entry, which you're using sales orders right now, or the invoicing portion of AR. Many of you are probably used to that, but the dual grid entry now is completed for the purchase order module, so that will have the same look and feel that you're used to. There's memo managers that's been expanded throughout these three modules, which we'll expand on. I don't have a slide that really relates to that, but key feature is that now you'll be able to have attachments for those other modules within the memos for each item master and many of the entry areas. There's a batch manager feature throughout these other three modules now. Customizer enhancements, which will give additional flexibility to the system, and we'll talk a little bit about those later again. More hyperlinks have been added. Crystal reports and forms. Crystal 11 is now included, so there's additional features in Crystal that we're not going to talk about today, but that when you're doing customized reports, you'll be able to take advantage of those additional enhancements for Crystal. User and date timestamps have been included in these new framework modules, and some additional right-click menu options that you may or may not be aware of within the sales orders. So again, some of these features that I talk about today, you may or may not use within your current modules, and if you're not aware of what they are, just take some notes, and then as we're reviewing with you your upgrade, what we call an upgrade checklist, or options, or what you should be considering, if these are features you're not aware of, one of our consultants or help desk people can certainly review these options with you so that you get more out of your system as you're using that. Some of these are great convenience features. Again, some of the reports and forms within MAS have been for inventory, purchase migration and upgrade process. You'll get an opportunity to change the system default, and if you do so, it's going to actually expand the number of fields. Once you expand it, you can't take it back, but if you want to take advantage of the 20 characters for your customer number field, that's going to be available. The division will remain the same as 2 characters, and this is simply implemented by changing a setting in accounts receivable. If you decide to do it later, you can do it at a later date too. Same thing is going to happen with the item code and inventory maintenance. So during the migration process, if that is checked to expand it to 30 characters, it will be expanded during that time. If you choose to wait, you can also wait and do it later on. Once it's expanded, it will not be able to be taken back. But for many companies coming out of different systems, that was a problem, and now instead of having to use an alias item number to compensate for that, they will be able to have the 30-character item.
Thank you all for joining us. As I mentioned, this was a abbreviated version of a webinar that we recorded back on April 8th of 2010. We encourage you to reach out to us. Our phone number is displayed here at the bottom. My name is Adrienne Montgomery. I'm in business development for Brackus Blum, but you can reach out to any one of us, Sue Dunn, Joe Genders, or Joe Basaha, as we have displayed on this frame here. So if you can, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you at a later date on another webinar. Thanks so much.